Okay, part three of using the bridge of another person's, well, a couple people and a whole room full of people's Akashic record container of a video, a Lee Harris video. This is part three of did kept pausing and recording. I'm gonna do it until I hear my husband come downstairs. He's my timer for this right now. You can use like timers, like actual timers that'll do whatever when you're channeling stuff, but um he brought up stuff about Lemuria. Lemuria. Oh. I have not engaged much with that content in general. And when something comes out that starts to have feelings inside of me and it's new, I like to just kind of get into a channeled state and ask questions about it. And I'm just recording this. And the current plan is to actually put it on YouTube, but if you're seeing it, then it meant I watched it and was like, cool. So when I'm finding things out about myself because they got triggered through something that I watched, part of the help of these videos, right? They're to give you little nuggets of things that you can go explore on your own. Likely because they involve you. They might not, but if you were drawn to it from the millions of potential videos that you could be, like your attention could be actively attuned to, and you're the kind of person who's open to things changing in your viewing habits on a regular basis, right? Just staying open to what it is that you're taking in. Um, what is it that I'm capable of knowing at this point about myself with regards to Lemuria, please? I just heard we will allow this information to come out when you are not recording, but they'll provide an encoded transmission. Oh, God, got it. All right, again, my first reaction to being asked to do more work or like sign into new contracts every time is to go, and that feels rude, and I don't mean to do it. It's just my first reaction because of how tired I am. This particular project, this particular researching things, like look at me, I'm a ghost in Connecticut, right? Like I'm just tired. And uh it's like when you it's like when you work at a place and you're already doing 15 fucking jobs because of course you are, you work at a nonprofit or something, right? And every time you have like a staff meeting or just something, you walk away with this like laundry list of shit that you now have to add to your day and to your week and to your workload, even though you're not done with like the other 50 things that it's on the grant report that you need to do. That's kind of what this is like for me. I guess that's kind of what getting back into like the contracts or whatever that I'm kind of getting out. And so I've had things open with Atlanteans because I was like part of this part with the hand stuff because Soul Lineage apparently did something to fuck something up there. It's fun when you're like the one who has to deal with things from a different soul's lifetime where you're like, so you're the one that did some stuff in Atlantis. And it's like, It's like, oh, cool. That's a great soul lineage to have, right? It's a great person to, it's fine. You don't have multiple human lifetimes and not end up being a problem, at least in some of them, you know? It happens. It fucking happens. What specifically did that soul do? That's not something apparently I'm going to say out loud right now, but it will just happen. And I have some Arcturian stuff because they were also a part, they weren't part of the my original NDE experience. Atlanteans were. Um, Arcturians were part of the November thing that I had to go through. And it would appear that now I am beginning my contract of capacities for being able to provide whatever from the Lemurian side of the over there. I'm getting re-entangled with things, and I'm doing it the way that I've been doing it for the last since April of 2024. Truly. And actually before that, because there were definitely some big downloads that started happening before that in February through March of 2024. And those are just what I noticed. That's when I first noticed it really coming in. But you can see that there is a level of my body is autonomously providing almost like a message, like an encoded um, specific points on my body. You're literally pointing out in a somatic way that is encoded in this metadata of the Akashic Records, right? Um, and there's a little bit of a contract that is being signed in real time as I'm talking between my body, between the members of my team and my family, my guides, right? Because I'm developmentally still very young in terms of um, what it is I understand that I'm getting myself into when I do open up the potential for an Akashic Record level contract. And I'm doing it because it was part of this encoded download. Information came through. Every time we get information, all it does is illuminate the corridor inside of the Akashic Records. Your attention goes there, therefore you can, whoa, you bring it to you, right? It's cool that there are humans that are doing this for all of us. I'm apparently one of them, right? Like part of why I'm so scattered with the things that come out of me is because I'm trying to point you in directions and what comes out of me. But what I'm hoping you're doing, I'm always hoping that if you have this open and there's something that you're doing, you're maybe just using it as a bridge to do something else while I'm talking too. Maybe you're watching what I'm doing, but like, can you really see my hands that much in these? I get inspired to start recording. Sometimes I do it on Zoom. It's easier, and I do find the camera thing funny. Cheap fucking camera. And as you can tell, I still don't have a paying client to pay for a new one. So you're gonna see these for as long as I don't have paying clients. And it is easier for me because I don't have to do phone, then cloud, then wait till thing does, and then download, then this. Like there's still administrative work, even when I'm doing quote unquote lazy YouTubing, right? Just hit record and go. Um, but there's the level of conscious choice that I really have in terms of who do I channel out from, who do I pull, who is a part of the creative process when something just I want to say autonomously, but when something comes out, right? When I have a level of capacity to oh cool, I'm gonna do more automatic writing thanks to Lemurian stuff. That's cool. Okay, not interested in voice. No Lemurian voice. You already have it pre-selected and encoded and blocked. Sick. Okay, so my okay. Anything else to come out about Lemurians right now? They were just basically telling me the conversations are private, they're not going to be recorded, they're not for this. And I just heard a door open. So, timers, right? Use life timers instead of like timers. Like, see what comes out of you when you're channeling, when that's what you do. Who knows? I just opened an Akashic Record contract with the Lemurians to help me with my automatic writing. What will happen with that? I look forward to finding out myself. Y'all want to say anything else? Oh, just a very no, we appreciate your time. Oh, okay. And then there's like a interesting. Oh, they're very reverent. No wonder y'all just want my hands. Okay, that's cool. No, no, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, got it. Have I been mislabeling? No, we just simply have been talking through Gaia until now. Okay. Every time you have a Gaia moment, we have been adding to the call. Interesting. Okay. I've apparently been providing some Lemurian level of stuff whenever there's a bit of Gaia involved, but they're not part of some of that, and it's not like I've been calling one of them Gaia or something. No, we are simply providing uh, extra time delayed inspirational bits. Are you part of the music? All right. I'm feeling the urge to just sort of pause a little bit there. Um, so I am going to stop for the purposes of this recording. Um, I notice I notice when the energy of something is a little more flat. I'm kind of just telling you how I do like Akashic record reading in case you're curious if this is a thing like you've been doing and like wondering like am I doing it like someone else does? Because I'm very process heavy. I like to explain like what I'm experiencing, even though you may not be experiencing it anything like how I experience it. But um, when I start to ask questions of what comes through, which is like I just Akashic records are open. I'm in the Lemurian halls. Oh, fascinating. Okay, so you can like call in. Basically, I just popped into like it was very Rivendell coded to me. That was the vibe I got. I got like a moment of just like whoa, which kind of similar to an internal headspace based on the feeling that I just got. Just had an earlier conversation like today for me with yeah I don't have a headspace to go to anymore even though we used to have one um which means we all used to meet up in the Akashic realm, which is fascinating. Headspaces are in the Akashic realm. We're just translating like we're again it's like a place but it's like an information place um and so like when you go there you're it's like little bits of data talking back and forth kind of but you're like going to a specific encoded place in your own Akashic records um little hideout, right? um and in the Lemurian Akashic records just the vibes of the records the halls of Lemurian side of things. I don't. Yeah, sure. Um, probably not explain it right. It's an endless. It's an endless place of all the metadata of everything, right? So like the fact that there's structure is because humans need the structure. Like, gotta be able to have structure to be able to understand what's going on. And so when you go in, you can like depending on how you're coded and on how you understand translating things um you can get things that are very visual, you can get things that are very auditory, you can get bodily sensations. I usually get all of them at the same time. And it kind of depends on what I want to focus on. So like when I felt the desire to be done with the line of questioning I had, I felt in sort of like around here, it felt just a little more tense. Like there's just there I hadn't been paying attention to body sensations, and then there was a body sensation, basically, along with sort of a little bit of boredom kind of like it just didn't feel rich. It didn't feel like there was a continuation from there. And that's really important when you're practicing on your own records and with other folks, but it's really important to notice those sensations because if you start asking lines of questions that send you into a direction that you're curious about that maybe isn't really relevant to the conversation or is just not going to be for yours or the other person's highest good in that moment, it's going to fall flat. It's not really going to keep going. Like you can ask questions, you might not get answers. And it's intentional because you have blocks on yourself. Like we all do. We all have like intentional, if you're really engaging with this level of content, you can't go forever. And you don't want to, because it will send you into a different trajectory of place that might just not be relevant, or might pull things out that are, you know, just aren't. You don't get to like then walk into the halls of it and then be able to be like, oh my god, I felt like I walked onto the set of you know, of Vendel, like, because giant columns felt like I was kind of outdoors. It felt very naturey. Um, didn't see any beings. It was just this space. It was just this absolute beautiful internal visual space that did not last for very long. That's also part of it for especially me, things that are deeply high vibration. When you're doing what I've been channeling so much that like the high vibe stuff is great. I can do it in little sips, little bitty sips right now. Because that's also part of it. If you're doing an Akashic Record reading and you hit somewhere where it feels like I'm hitting up against something, your own body might not be able to continue with that line of questioning, and you might just need to veer it on back a little bit, you know? Just come on back in, present what it is that you found, talk to the person, see how they're feeling, let them let some of that out too. Because it could also be that they can't handle it. And maybe you can as the reader, because you've been doing this forever, but maybe it's their literal first time doing an Akashic Record reading or doing anything spiritual. Maybe they jumped into the deep end. Plenty of us are like that. Hi. I'm one of those, you know? So their bodies might not be able to handle it. And you might need to be very mindful of what the feelings are in your body, because you might be getting body sensations that have to do with what your client can handle. You don't know that in the moment, and you aren't going to be able to ask them, so somatically speaking, where exactly on the body are you feeling anything that's going on right now, and can you name a chakra for exactly what's happening, and also can you tell me, like, you're not going to be able to get that from them, nor should you. You as the reader are there for the client, and it is your job to do your due diligence to train yourself to notice how and where and when questions come in. It's why really like getting proficient at something like the Akashic Records takes a lot. It takes time. It takes honestly years. Um, but you know, we're human and we like our shiny pieces of paper with our names on them. Guilty. Um, so we train on things, and we may or may not be ready for them. Um, it's fine. Just know that if you start doing Akashic Record readings and you're having like body breakdowns, stop doing Akashic Record readings and like go see someone, and you go pay for an Akashic Record reading. Like, go see someone that can help, or go see a different type of practitioner. Especially if you start having like bad headaches and stuff, it means that you're mental first, and you need to be heart based first. You need to be body based first to read Akashic Records in a way that doesn't cause you harm, because you need to be able to stop yourself. You got to be able to stop yourself when the line of questioning goes somewhere. You have to have physical breaks. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and you don't know what that is, somatic experiencing, therapy. I mean it. Go to a therapist, get somatic experiencing practice, because you want to know how to talk to your body, and you want to know how to know when your body talks back. And somatic experiencing is the best way to help those connections bridge and form in your fucking spinal column, right? Like, you need experience being in a place, and it does not hurt to just be with someone who is trained in mental health stuff. Can't emphasize this enough. If Akashic Record reading, if getting one is like 10 years of therapy, then you as the reader, you honestly need mental health like training to do it, and not be like causing harm to people. You at least need to understand what that means. It's kind of an important and sacred thing. Don't just go into that shit if you've never ever done anything. If you've never even been to a therapist, what are you doing trying to read Akashic Records for people? You need to know how it is to have clients. You need to know how it is to hold space, especially for the everything. As a mental health practitioner is holding, like, they're a professional space holder for the everything that comes out of someone's, like, what they say, what they're willing to bring. But like, they're trained in mental flexibility and holding space and allowing the other person to be what leads the session. And so many folks are very like, you know, if you're really gung-ho about things, you might just be the person who comes in and like if you were a former doctor and you haven't gone through letting go of the years of training that you had, body and brain, and just patterns, right? Of you're the client, I find the problem and I tell you what is wrong, and next, like that got encoded for a very long time. At minimum, you need to have a couple years of like I'm therapy wise. I've been in the space where people are engaging in bringing things to the surface and releasing things and moving things out and kind of getting them kind of flowing. So it's turned into a different kind of conversation than I was intending for it to start with, but um I do just believe that. I don't think that you need to have the piece of paper for it. I don't, but there's just all of your content shouldn't be spiritual content. You should know how to take care of clients and you should know how to um, be aware of what comes out of you at any moment when you're doing Akashic Record readings. You know, you should be watching your tapes back. You should be you should be treating it you should be treating it as seriously as any therapist does, even though it's not regulated and there's not any sort of like formal checks or anything in this space. That's why I really like I don't really do say it as a selling point that it's 10 years of therapy in 1 hour, because to me that's horrifying. It's horrifying. Like that's if you've been doing a lot of work and you just are so curious and you do want some help and you do want to expand some things, yeah. But if you're going in because you're like, I just need this cleansed, I need this healed, I need it done. That's not what an Akashic record reading is for. You might and you probably will get quite a bit from it. I've gotten a lot of healings from Akashic record readings that I've gotten. And that I've provided because they're healing for me too. Um, but okay, there is actually my husband. Okay, so that's all I'm going to leave this with. Still very much a like, let's blend these worlds, please, because I think that blending these worlds is where the real deep community led and driven, and there already are space holders for this. We just need a little bit of cross pollination of these worlds because we're all really in need of some help right now, right? So, okay. Bye.